Hello everyone, welcome to Maths Academy. In this video, I will be discussing the fraction questions in your grade 10 book. If you are new to this channel, make sure to like the video, subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get notified for future uploads. If you have watched my previous video, then you will have a clear understanding on what is fractions and how to add, subtract, multiply and divide a fraction, how to simplify a fraction to its simplest form, and how to solve a fraction when there are two or more operators given. So if you haven't watched my previous video, then you can click the link in the description and watch it and get a clear understanding on what is fractions, because this is the lesson that is mostly tested in your GCE O-level examinations. So with that being said, let's get right into the questions. Question number 1. So it says, using the given fractions, complete the table. And they have given some of these fractions and they have given some examples: a unit fraction, proper fraction and improper fraction. You all know unit fraction means when the numerator is 1, that means it's a unit fraction. And proper fraction means when the numerator is lesser than the denominator, that means it's a proper fraction. And the improper fraction is the opposite of proper fraction, that means when the numerator is greater than the denominator, that means it's an improper fraction. Now using these examples, let's fill these three cages. The first one, 4 over 5. 4 is lesser than the denominator, that is 5. So this comes under proper fraction. And the next one is 1 over 7. So we have the numerator as 1. So that means it's a unit fraction. And 5 over 7 is a proper fraction because the numerator is lesser than the denominator. And 4 over 9 is a proper fraction. 9 over 4 is improper. And 19 over 15 is an improper fraction because the numerator is greater than the denominator. 19 over 15 is an improper fraction. And 7 over 12 is a proper fraction because the numerator is less than the denominator. 1 over 15 is a unit fraction because the numerator is 1. So that means it comes under unit fraction. 7 over 8 is a proper fraction. 7 over 8. And 11 over 9 is a improper fraction because 11 is greater than the denominator, that is 9. So that's an improper fraction. And 23 over 50 is a proper fraction because the numerator is less than the denominator. And 22 over 7 is an improper fraction. And 1 over 3 is a unit fraction because the numerator is 1, so that it's a unit fraction. And 8 over 7 is an improper fraction because 8 is greater than 7, so it's an improper fraction. 6 over 5 is also an improper fraction because 6 is greater than the denominator, that is 5. So let's write them. So once again, if I explain you, unit fraction means when a numerator is having the number value 1, that means it's a unit fraction. Proper fraction means when the numerator is lesser than the denominator, that means it's a proper fraction. Improper fraction means when the numerator is greater than the denominator, that means it's a proper fraction. That is, the reciprocal of a proper fraction is an improper fraction and the reciprocal of an improper fraction is a proper fraction. So with that, let's go to the next question. Question number 2. It says to convert the below given fractions. First they have given 3 improper fraction and we have to convert them to mixed fraction, and they have given 2 mixed fraction and we have to convert them into improper fraction. In my previous video, I have taught you how to convert an improper fraction to mixed fraction and mixed fraction to improper fraction. If you haven't watched that video, you can click the link in the description and watch it. for your understanding, I'll just show you an example using these fractions, how to convert them. And always you should note that when you convert improper fraction to mixed fraction or mixed fraction to improper fraction, the denominator does not change. So first let's convert improper fraction to mixed fraction. Now you should look at my screen carefully. These are the steps that you should follow when converting improper fraction to mixed fraction. So these are the steps. First you should divide 8 by 3, and when you divide 8 by 3, the one that is on the top comes as the whole number, the one on the bottom comes as the numerator, and the denominator, that is 3. So this is the mixed fraction. Again let me explain you. The one that is on the top comes as the whole number, the one on the bottom comes as the numerator, and the denominator stays constant. It doesn't change. Either if you convert improper fraction to mixed fraction or mixed fraction to improper fraction. So with that, let's do this. Same way if you do to the other one. The 3 that is on the top comes as the whole number. The 2 that is on the bottom comes as the numerator, and this 5 comes as the denominator. So that's how you arrange a mixed fraction. Same as done here. The 2 as the whole number, the bottom 2 as the numerator, and this denominator has come to the denominator. So using this, let's arrange this mixed fraction. As you can see here, the 3 has come as whole number, and the bottom 2, that is the remainder, has come to the numerator, and the 5 on the denominator of the improper fraction has come to the denominator of the mixed fraction. So with that, let's go to the next question, that is 11 over 2 to be converted to mixed fraction. So when you divide 11 by 2, this will be the final answer. And again, if I tell you, the number that is on the top comes as the whole number of this mixed fraction, and the remainder comes on the numerator of this mixed fraction, and the denominator of the improper fraction comes as the denominator of the mixed fraction. So now let's write them down. Now we have converted the improper fraction to mixed fraction. I hope you would have understood how to convert the improper fraction to mixed fraction. Now let's see how to convert mixed fraction to improper fraction. Denominator and the whole number should be multiplied, and with that answer you should add it with the numerator, and the final answer comes to the numerator, while the denominator does not change. It's like this. Over here you multiply, and over here you add. So when you multiply 4 by 2, you get 8, and when you add 8 and 3, you get 11. So that's 11 over 4. And the next one. In this, denominator and the whole number should be multiplied, and in this, it should be added. So when you multiply 2 by 9, you get 18, and if you add 18 with 1, you get 19. That's 19 over 2. I hope you would have understood how to convert the improper fraction to mixed fraction and mixed fraction to improper fraction. So with that, let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. They have told to write these fractions in ascending order. Ascending order means writing numbers from small to big. So with that, let's do one by one. So in this you can see the denominators are all equal. So we only should see the numerator. You can see that 3 over 9 is the smallest out of all these. So first 3 over 9 comes, and then 4 over 9, and then 5 over 9, and at the last 6 over 9. That's the ascending order of this question. So let's write it. So this is the ascending order of this. So now let's try this question. And if you can see, the denominator of these is not equal. So to make this equal, we should multiply this fraction and this fraction by 2. Both the numerator and the denominator by 2, so that the denominator of all 4 fractions becomes common. That is 8. So this fraction multiplied by 2, this fraction 2 multiplied by 2. Let's write the fraction. So now as you can see, we have made all the 4 fractions equal. It's 8. The common denominator of all the fractions is 8. Now we can arrange it from small to big by looking at its numerator. So when we look at these, we can see that this is the smallest. 2 over 8 is the smallest, and then 4 over 8, and then 5 over 8, and then 6 over 8. So you can see we have arranged them to the ascending order. First 2 over 8, and then 4 over 8, and then 5 over 8, and then 6 over 8. So now let's see this one. So if you can see here too, the denominator is not equal. So to make this denominator equal, we should see the common LCM of this. So I have taught you how to check the common LCM of 2 or more fractions. So if you haven't watched my video, you can click the link in the description and watch it. So the common LCM of these fractions will be 72. So that means we should make all these fractions denominator as 72. So to make it 72, we can multiply this by 8, this by 9, and this one by 12, and this one by 8. If you multiply the denominator by the respective numbers, you should also multiply the numerator by the respective number. 24 over 72, and then 48 over 72, and then 40 over 72, and then 54 over 72. So now we have made the denominator equal, that is 72. So now we should figure out what will come as the first fraction and the next. So when you see it, you can see that 24 is the smallest out of all. So you can put 24 as the first one, and then 40 over 72, and then 48 over 72, and then 54 over 72. So this is the ascending order of these fractions. So now let's move on to the fourth one. Since the fractions denominator is not equal, we should see the common LCM. So when we see the common LCM, we get 180. So now we should make each and every denominator 180. So for that we can multiply the first fraction by 18, second fraction by 20, third fraction by 20, and fourth fraction by 45. If you multiply the denominator by respective numbers, you should also multiply the numerator by respective numbers. One 80 is the common denominator for all, and now we should arrange them in the ascending order. So now we have arranged them in the ascending order. So I hope you know how to arrange any given fractions in ascending order. So with that, let's move on to the next slide. Question number 4. Simplify the following fractions. One thing you should know that when you simplify addition and subtraction of fractions, you should always see whether the denominator is equal or not. If it is equal, you can just simplify it by adding and subtracting. And if it is not equal, you should see the common LCM of it. So with that, let's move on to these 3 questions. So here the denominator is all equal, so you can just put the answer, and the denominator does not change. You can just write the denominator as 5, and when you add 4, 3 and 2, you get 9. So that's 9 over 5. So since this is an improper fraction, you can also convert this to mixed fraction, or you can keep the answer as it is. When you convert this to mixed fraction, you get 1 over 5. The 5 comes as the denominator, the 1 on the top comes as the whole number, and remainder comes on the numerator side. So we have converted this into mixed fraction. So now let's go to the next question. And if you can see in the next question, the denominators are not equal. So that means we should take the common LCM of these. The common LCM of this will be 30. So to make these 30, you should multiply this fraction by 15, this fraction by 10, and this fraction by 6. So you get 30. Now we have made the denominator equal. So now you can just put the denominator as 30 and you add the numerators and put it to the numerator side. That will be your final answer. And if you can see, this is an improper fraction. So the final answer will be, you can also keep improper fraction as it is, or it's better if you change it to mixed fraction. So now let's go to the next question. And in the next question, there is mixed fraction. So first you should convert this mixed fraction to improper fraction. And once you have converted this, you should use the Bodmer's rule, because there are 2 operators given, plus and minus. So when you see this, first you should do the addition part, and then you should do the subtraction. So once you do the addition and get the answer, with that answer you should do the subtraction. Before you do the addition, you should make the denominator equal. You should always check on that. So now you should do the subtraction. So to do the subtraction, you should check the denominator whether is it equal or not, because only in addition and subtraction of fractions we should check the denominator of the respective fractions. So I hope you have understood it. So with that, let's move on to the next question. So here we have 1 over 2 of, and we have got the brackets. The denominator is not equal since the operator is plus. We should make it equal. The common LCM of this is 15. So you can multiply this fraction by 3 and this fraction by 5. So now you should do the bracket. So this of turns into multiplication. I hope you understood how to do this. So with that, let's move on to the next question. So here they have given a mixed fraction and then minus. So that means these 2 denominators should be equal, but in which they are not equal. So you should make it equal, and the common LCM is 10. So to make this 10, you can multiply this fraction by 2 and this fraction by 5. Before you multiply, you should convert this to improper fraction. So the final answer will be, so you can convert this to mixed fraction. So with that, let's go on to the next question. In this, you should make this as an improper fraction. And one thing you should note, when you do division of fractions, you should convert the division sign into multiplication and you should reciprocal the second fraction. Reciprocaling means turning the fraction upside down. First I'll convert this improper fraction and then I will simplify this bracket and this bracket, and once I simplify I will make the denominator equal and then I will do it. So 1 refers to 2 over 2. This 1 depends on the denominator. Since this is an improper fraction, you should convert this to mixed fraction. So I hope you would have understood how to simplify the fractions. So with that, let's move on to the next set of calculations. So now let's do the calculation number 7. So now all you have to do is convert these mixed fractions to improper fraction, and since the Bodmer's rule tells off should be done first, so first you should do the off and then you should do the division. I hope you know how to do the division. You turn the division to multiplication and then you reciprocal the second fraction. So now let's do it. So now you can see every operator is multiplication. So you get 4 multiplied by 4 is 16, 16 multiplied by 2 is 32, 5 into 5 is 25. So now you will have to convert this to mixed fraction. So this is the final answer. So with that, let's go to the question number 8. In this question, you should convert this mixed fraction to improper fraction, and then you should turn this division to multiplication and reciprocal the second fraction, and once you reciprocal you get all the operators as multiplication, and from there you can simplify and get the final answer. And if the answer is improper fraction, you can turn it to mixed fraction. So let's do it. So 22 over 25 will be the final answer in mixed fraction form, and 72 over 25 will be the answer in improper fraction form. So with that, let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. It says calculate the following quantities. Now we have to calculate the following quantities, and here you can see every questions are off, which means multiplication. You should know that very carefully. These types of terms are mostly tested in your exams, so you should be very familiar with these terms. So 1 over 2 multiplied by 5000. So if you cancel this, you get 2500. So half of rupees 5000 is 2500. The next question is 3 over 4 multiplied by, you can cancel this with this, you get 50. So 3 multiplied by 50 gives you 150 meters. So 3 over 4 of 200 meters gives you 150 meters. Third question. 2 over 3 of means multiplication, and in this it's decimal value, so you can convert this liters to milliliters and you can do the calculation. So 1 liters equals 1000 milliliters. So using this we can calculate this. So if you cancel this, you get 800. So 2 multiplied by 800 gives you 1600. Fourth question. 1 over 4 of 2000. If you cancel this and this, you get 500 milliliters. So now I have done all 4 questions. So these two, you can pause this video and you can do the questions, and once you have finished the question, you can play the video and see my answers whether did you get it correct or not. 3/5 into 250 kilograms. So 3/5 of 250 kilograms equals 150 kilograms. Next question, 3/4 of 4.8 kilometers. Since this numeric value is a decimal value, you can convert the kilometers to meters by multiplying it by 1000, so you get 4800. If you do the calculation, you get 4800. If you cancel this and this, you get 1200, so that is equal to 3600 meters. So 3/4 of 4.8 kilometers equals 3600 meters or 3.6 kilometers. So with that, let's move on to the next slide. Question 6. It says 2/3 was allocated for classrooms, and from that remaining 2/3 was allocated for office, and rest of the portion was allocated for the library, and they have given us 4 questions to find. So now let's find them one by one. So first they are asking what fraction of the whole area has been allocated for the office, and here it says 2/3 of the remaining portion for an office. So now we should find the remaining of this. So 3/3 minus 2/3 is the remaining, because 2/3 was allocated for the classrooms. So total 3/3, and out of that 2/3 was allocated for the classroom, and the remaining will be 1/3. From 1/3 you should multiply 2/3 to get the portion of an office. So let's do that. Two over 9. So the fraction that was allocated for the office is 2/9. And the next question they are asking is what fraction of the whole area has been allocated for the library. First we should find the total fraction that is allocated for the classroom and office, and then we should minus it with the whole fraction. Now since the operator is plus, we should make the denominator equal. So to make the denominator equal, we should multiply the first fraction by 3. So if you multiply the numerator and the denominator by 3, you get and that gives you 8/9. Still we did not find the area allocated for the library. We have found the area allocated for the classroom and office, that is 8/9. Now we should find the area allocated for the library. That is what the question asks. So to find that, we should minus the total area and the area allocated for the classroom and office. So when you do the calculation, you get 1/9, because 9/9 minus 8/9, you get 1/9. Now the third question, find the floor area of the hall. So now they are asking us to find the area of the hall, which means it says to find the total area of the hall. So to do that, we should multiply 9 by 200, because 1/9 equals 200. If you can see here, and the rest of the floor area, which is 200 meters squared for the library. And the fraction of the library is 1/9. So 1/9 equals 200 meters square, that is the area. So when you multiply 9 into 200, you get the whole area. That is what they are asking here. So let's do that. So that's 1800. So let's go to the question number 4. It says find separately the floor area that is allocated for the classrooms and the office. So we should find the floor area that is allocated for classroom and the office separately. So to find the total area that is allocated for the classroom, take the fraction value classroom, that is 2 over 3, and you should multiply it by the total area, that is 1800. So 2 over 3 multiplied by 1800 gives you the area of the classroom. And when you're finding it for the office, we should take the fraction value, that is 2 over 9, and multiply it by the total area, that is 1800. So 2 over 9 multiplied by 1800 gives you the total area of the office. The area that is allocated for the classroom is 1200 meters square. Now let's find the area of the office. And the area allocated for the office is 400 meters square. So I hope you understood this. With that, let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. It says, Mr. Austin, who works in an office in the city, spends 2 over 5 of his salary on food and sends 2 over 3 of the remaining amount to his wife. And they have given us 3 questions. Let's answer them one by one. The first question. What fraction of his salary remains after he has spent for his food? So he has spent 2 over 5 of his salary on food. So 5 over 5 minus 2 over 5, you get the remaining amount. So 3 over 5 is the remaining amount. The second question. What fraction of his salary does he send his wife? And it says 2 over 3 of the remaining amount to his wife. So 2 over 3 multiplied by the remaining amount. The remaining amount is 3 over 5. So 2 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 5, you get 2 over 5. So you simply cancel this 3 and this 3. So 2 over 5 is the amount that he sends his wife. Third one, what fraction of his salary is left over after these expenses are met? First, we should find the total expenses. The total expenses are the amount spent on food and the amount that he sent to his wife. And the remaining amount is the remaining amount is 1 over 5. So I hope you would have understood this. With that, let's move on to the next slide. Question number 8. It says, black pepper and cloves have been cultivated in 7 over 8 of a plot of land, and black pepper has been cultivated in 450 meters square, while cloves have been cultivated in 1 over 4 of the land. So they have given this information about black pepper and cloves. So with that, let's do these 3 questions. The first question. It says the fraction of the land on which black pepper has been cultivated. So 1 over 4 is used for cultivating cloves. So black pepper is 7 over 8, because from the total land they have only used 7 over 8 to cultivate black pepper and cloves. So 7 over 8 minus 1 over 4. That is equals to 5 over 8. So 5 over 8 is the fraction that is allocated for cultivating black pepper. Next question. They are asking the area of the whole land. So it says black pepper has been cultivated in 450 meters square, which means 5 over 8 equals 450 meter square. So we should find 1 over 8. So 1 over 8 equals 450 divided by 5. Once you find 1 over 8, now you should find the total area of the land. Total area is 8 over 8. So 1 over 8 equals 450 divided by 5, that is 90 meters square. So 8 over 8 equals 90 multiplied by 8, that is 720 meters square. So now let's do that. Next, they are asking the area in which cloves have been cultivated. To find that area, I have told you previously, we should put the fraction of the cloves, that is 1 over 4, and we should put the total area, that is 720. 1 over 4 multiplied by 720 gives you the area in which cloves have been cultivated. 180 meters square, that is the area in which cloves have been cultivated. I hope you understood this. With that, let's move on to the next slide. Question number 9. It says, of the amount that Anil spent on a trip, 4 over 7 was spent on food and 2 over 3 of the remaining amount on travelling. If rupees 800 was spent on other expenses, find how much Anil spent in total on the trip. So now let's label the information that is given. And it says 2 over 3 of the remaining amount on travelling. So let's find the amount spent on travelling. So 2 over 3 of means multiplication. The remaining amount of 4 over 7 is 3 over 7. So 3 over 7. Then your final answer will be 2 over 7. So these are the total amount that he spent on his trip. They are asking us to find how much Anil spent in total on this trip. To find the total amount he spent, we should add 4 over 7 plus 2 over 7 and we should minus it with the total amount. So the total amount will be 7 over 7. If you minus, you get 1 over 7. So 1 over 7 that is spent on other expenses, that is equals to 800. Now they are asking us to find how much Anil spent in total on the trip. So to find the total, we should multiply 800 by 7. That is 5,600 rupees he has spent on the total trip. So I hope you understood it. With that, let's move on to the next slide. Question number 10. It says Saroja reads 1 over 3 of a book she borrowed from the library on the first day. And on the second day, she was only able to read 1 over 2 of the remaining portion. And on the third day, she finished the total book by reading the remaining 75 pages. How much pages were there in the total book? First, we should find the remaining amount and then we should find the amount that she read on the second day, and then we should find the amount that she read on the third day. From that amount, we can find the total pages that is in the book. So on the first day, second day and third day, she has read 1 over 3. So now we can find the total pages that were in the book. So 1 over 3 is equals to 75 pages. This is the total pages that is in the book. I hope you understood it. So with that, we have come to the end of this lesson. So I am sure that all of you would have understood all what I have taught you in my previous video and in this video. If you did not understand any part, then you can rewatch the video and get a clear understanding on this chapter. And I will put the link for the previous video, that is the fractions theory, in the description below. And you can watch that too, because this is the lesson that is mostly tested in your GCE O-level examination. Make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel if you are new, and press the notifications button to get notified whenever future uploads take place.